Um, one of the biggest things or the biggest lessons I've learned in my life, or not even the biggest lesson. Well, it is a lesson, but also the biggest advice that I could give myself if I was younger is to stay patient. Cultivate patience. Patience is something. It's an attitude problem. It's your approach to life, and impatience spills over in all areas of life. When you're eating really fast. I only eat when I'm hungry, like actually hungry. I don't eat for pleasure, or I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. Sometimes I do eat for pleasure, and when I eat for pleasure, even when I eat for pleasure, I eat really fast. Like I'm eating like I'm starving, which I do fast and everything, but it's not even that. It is the simple attitude, or yeah, it's my attitude towards it. It's I'm very impatient. I want to get this over with, and this is kind of like I've always had this attitude, my whole life. Like it's not even just with food. It's with video games. It's with work. It's with not all video games, but um, no, it is. It's with everything. Even when I'm reading, and there'll be like a little impatience. Like I'll be like, okay, so instead of like reading the entire book, I'll just scan through a lot of like paragraphs because they're just describing something, right? Instead of actually enjoying the book and being present, I'll just skip through until I find some dialogue or something interesting. Like I'll skip all the boring parts. And I'm sure that's like a normal thing to do, but that's it seems to me it's not that it's a normal thing to do, but more of my lack of patience or my impatience that's the problem that causes it. And even with these videos, sometimes I can make not all the time, but it's just the fact of like I don't really take my time with anything. I'm always trying, and I think coffee might have had a little problem with this, but this was a me problem way before coffee, and I I just have to like kind of remind myself when I like catch myself eating really fast, or I catch myself like cleaning real fast, or when I'm walking home from work, I'll be walking fast so I can get home fast, right? Um, it's that kind of mindset of like I want to get this over with. I don't and that mindset is just you're speeding through life, right? It's like you're not truly appreciating the present moment, and you're just like you're living. It's living in the future almost because I feel like a problem of impatience is you have a vision of the future. There is a future that you want or looking forward to, and you want that to happen more than your actual present moment. Whatever's happening right now, you fantasize, daydream about your future that you're looking forward to, and so what that causes is in the present moment it causes impatience. Or if you're really like focused on that future vision, right? And you're getting less focused on the present moment, you're really focused on that future vision, and what causes what call my bad, okay, what ends up happening is you develop impatience and you don't fully appreciate this present moment because you have another present moment that you created in your head that is not even actually better, but more that you fantasize and glamorize, if that's the word, in your head, and you made it sound better than what's happening right now. And it might be realistic. You might be looking forward to playing video games, and playing video games is better than being at work, obviously, right? But the problem is like, I always try to like remind myself of death, right? The fact that you could die tomorrow, that I could die today, that the fact that I could die after I record this video, right? And so when I do that, it kind of helps me be patient. But you have to kind of like, and I do, but you have to kind of understand though, like if you're at work, right, and you're living in a fantasy, you're living in a future that doesn't even exist yet, right? You're not really focused in the present moment, and the fact is like there's no guaranteed of whatever future you fantasize is to happen, and so you're looking forward to something that you don't even know will happen, and you have this present moment right here, right now that you can fully appreciate and love, but you don't because you love some other place, right? And Sorry, I'm getting a little lost, but it's just the fact of like, you don't know when you could die, right? Like, I could be at work, right, and I could die at the end of the work shift. As soon as I clock out, I could have a heart attack, right? And so, we at least me, I have the attitude of, this I do the same shit every day, blah blah blah, right? It's the same repetitious shit, repetition, whatever, right? And I remind myself, hey, you did this yesterday. Oh, hey, you gotta do this tomorrow, right? And what that does is it creates this idea that, I mean, which is kind of true, but it's not really, because what you're doing is kind of torture yourself, because like I said, you could die when you clock out. And so if you die when you clock out, and then in your head, you treat it like just like a normal work day, when it was your actual last work day, and you could have treated it like that if you knew you were going to die, but you don't. And that's the thing, you don't know when you're going to die. And so you basically have the attitude of, if I'm going to live forever, every day is infinity, nothing's going to change, which shit does change. Shit can change real fast. I've learned that the hard way. Like, you could have a good life. You could have everything going for you, and then bam, just a switch, all of that shit just crumbles. Your entire reality that you built up is just gone, right? And so yeah, you have to have the attitude of, hey, this could be my last shift. Like, probably not, percentage wise, statistically, probably not, but I think it would be good to have that kind of attitude towards my work shift, right? I think it would be good for my coworkers. I think it would be good for me. I think it would just be good for just the world, right? And yeah, and that can help you be patient, right? And so just kind of like take your time with everything. And then if your mind tries to go into that fantasy world, right? You can say, hey, I'm so excited for this thing to happen, right? You obviously, it's good to have excitement, right? But you don't want to be replacing you don't want to replace your imagination with physical reality, if that makes sense. You kind of just want to have a merge of both, right? And so this is kind of where patience come in. Yes, you can have an event that you're looking forward to, right? But instead of saying, hey, I need to go, speed up and try to get this over with so I can get to that whatever fantasy or whatever's in your imagination. Instead of doing that, like I said, have the approach or have the attitude of, hey, this could be my last work shift, right? But also, like I said, you could be excited for it. You can have excitement. Hey, there's this event that I'm really excited for, right? But there's also this work shift, right? And you have to remind, this is where death comes in. You remind yourself, hey, that future event that you're looking forward to, that you're really excited to, yes, you can feel that excitement, right? But don't let that become your actual reality. Understand that mental image, that fantasy that you created in your head, it's not guaranteed. And the fact that your actual reality, like I said, you could clock out your worship. And so that could be your last day, your last worship. And so you have that in mind, right? Hey, be here now. Enjoy this present moment. Take your time. But also, yeah, there's a few things I'm excited for in the future. You can let that give you joy, right? But don't let it like consume your mind and like control your behavior and your attitude, if that makes sense, right? If that makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, pretty much, man, just like kind of just let everything happen. Whatever happens, and really just focus on your attitude for the present moment. And I'm gonna make more videos like these. I'm probably just gonna name this video Patience, because I think it's a pretty good title. But yeah, you really, if you just, because I used to focus on so many things, right? I used to get really like, into healthy diets. I used to get really into like, so many things, so many tricks, so many whatever, right? But the biggest thing I learned the biggest thing to put my focus on is my actual attitude. Because my attitude will determine my mood. My attitude would determine what happens in my relationships. My attitude would determine if I'm successful or not, right? Attitude is such a huge, like, I don't even know what the word is, but it is like, your attitude is your steering wheel for life. Having a good attitude will put you in a good direction, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have more to say in the future. But that's pretty much it. If y'all enjoy it, leave a like, and Yeah, I'll see you in the next video.